So, Poet, what's going on, my brother? How are you, my brother?
Life is great, man.
Yeah.
Me and Vuj started our channel. You don't know me.
Hey.
Come on.
Hey.
Them can't stop it. I see.
Let's talk about this.
It's amazing, bro. It's
How do you
actually amazing. How can man have one video and 20k subscribers,
really
and the video's not even anything?
You didn't even have a video and you had 13 subscribers.
Exactly.
13K, sorry. I was like, wow.
Obviously, we've been doing this football thing for like, 7-8 years.
Pioneers.
Started a lot of things, FIFA and chill. Like, we were, I think, one of the first waves of people that... We remember when me and Poet started working together and we started getting opportunities. We kind of said to each other, we really want to put footballers and make them human. And try to bring entertainment to their level.
Yeah.
And that was the kind of premise of FIFA and chill and a lot of these concepts. And obviously it was tough at the beginning because you had a lot of like brands, and like at the beginning it's tough. So shout out Goldie from Adidas. He was like the first guy.
Ben Goldie
got
was
us Theo
absolutely,
Walcott. And I was like, yo, let's do this FIFA and chill thing. Obviously Netflix and chill was a big meme then. So I was like, let's just do that. Let's like interview them, have food. Let's like try and make us tea. We'll be in bathrobes. Let's just make it comfortable and different. And then I think, yeah, man, since then, it's obviously we set the pace for a while.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that, you know what, it's like, as much as the people closest to us, well, not closest to us per se in terms of like sentiment, but closest to us in terms of they see the work we're doing, those people were under the impression the situation was something it's not. And I'm so happy that as we've progressed and decided to, you know, do our own thing, the people that were watching our content and were supporting our content are fully aware of what we were, and I feel like it is kind of nice to know that your work doesn't go unnoticed.
I'm very, I feel happy. I feel like no like negativity towards anyone or anything.
No.
I feel quite clean and just kind of like, now I can just
that's
create
positive.
No,
Do you know what? There has to, and I've been thinking about this for so long. Yeah, when I look at some of the stuff that you lot do, yeah. And I don't know how to articulate it, and I need to like really go through everything first and just do a lot of research on stuff, because obviously I've been following you lot. I've known you for however long, Poet. Yeah.
Even though the first time you met me, I remember being was a cunt. I'm sorry.
Of course, yeah. But like, there has to be a conversation about like what you two ultimately have done, yeah, and how that has sort of like created a part of what you lot have done has created this whole thing now of like all these different personalities that are just like us, whereas before it always seemed like people that were documenting football were just like they were just up there, like they didn't feel like they were part of us. Do you get what I'm saying? Now it's like the biggest thing is just to like normal personalities, just like lovers of football talking about football. Like that is like the biggest. Brands are like spending so much money on personalities and stuff like that now on those type of things, whereas before it wasn't really like that. And I just think that like it would be interesting to actually see, or even one day you, Poet, go through and just unpack like the start of when this started to happen to today, because I think it's an interesting conversation.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, even I can briefly tell you, like, I think this is when I think Vuj is right. You know, Vuj said something today and I disagreed, but now I'm going to agree with him. I think people are absolute idiots. I think a lot of people are stupid, very scared, and don't do what clearly is wanted. The biggest show when it came to football, engaging with people that don't like football, the biggest show was Soccer AM. This is not a question. Soccer AM was massive. Every footballer wanted to go on Soccer AM. All the footballers that went on Soccer AM just became so human. They had this thing where Robbie Fowler would come, they would lay out a red carpet, it would be like, oh God, it was so charismatic. I used to watch that, my mum used to watch it, my brothers used to watch it, and I was like, and Tim Lovejoy. Tim Lovejoy's a fucking legend, Chelsea fan. He made Chelsea a cool club. Before that, Chelsea were dead, you know. When Tim Lovejoy started supporting Chelsea, I didn't mind Chelsea. So when I looked at it and I was like, why have they taken this away? Why have they replaced Tim Lovejoy with this really conventional presenter? Why have they just done this really boring? Why are all these people boring? Like, Soccer AM was fun. I was like, I feel we should make content like that. And then once you link up with someone like Vuj, who you saw from the content he was doing before, just gets it. Bruv, it was the easiest job in the world, because Vuj is comfortable being him. I'm comfortable being me. And it was like, we think this is the way we should speak about something, because this is the way the majority of the world speak about it. Like, the majority of the world can't afford these fucking tailor-made suits that all of these guys are wearing on television, and they're sort of arrogant personas of, we're on TV. Man. It's like, that is not football.
I think
at all.
What's beautiful is that like, even what you're doing and what everyone's doing right now is like everyone's just being themselves. I think we've all I think everybody goes through a journey of finding themselves, and like maybe at one point you're not as authentic as you can be, and now I think I've figured out and I've seen like, wow, like being yourself and being authentic and being free is the most powerful thing you can have.
1,000,000%.
And having ownership as well. And
1,000,000%.
that's the longer journey and the longer grind. But the more you do that, it's like you're happier, you're enjoying life more, and that's what everyone's doing right now. And you can see there's space for everyone. This isn't like a thing where it's like if we do something, Chunks in Philly can't do it, or like Skits can't do it.
You made it cool, man. You made it cool to be yourselves and make it like, or just like.
I think on that journey,
success,
that journey's interesting as well, because a lot of the time you'll make a lot of mistakes as well.
Yeah, naturally.
You'll say the wrong things.
But
you
Vuj,
think and then you learn more. So it's really beautiful, man. I'm just happy and grateful.
Vuj, Poe, do you lot like sit there or wherever you are, or your house or wherever, do you lot sit there and think to yourself like, I'm proud of what I've done? Because you lot have like paved the way for so many people,
100%,
and so many different things.
I just think you lot deserve way more.
I do appreciate it.
Now, talk on that, Vuj.
What's that?
A bit like you saying that like you didn't really get it.
I didn't get it because I feel like when you're doing stuff online, you just do it.
Yeah,
like you do it for the love of it and creativity, and you do it kind of for people. Like the comedy I was doing before and like the interviews, it's just like always fun, and because you're always doing it, you're never really taking a seat back to be like, oh wow, people appreciate this. Recently I've been doing that, and I'm just grateful that, like, you know, when you get love on the street, like, to me that's the most beautiful feeling, is when someone like shows you love, and like a young person recognizes you in like America, or that's because at the end of the day I was a young person and I was like getting gassed whenever I'd see someone or meet someone. So like, if people are excited to meet you and they like your work, I think that's beautiful, bro. Because we're just exchanging energy, and at the end of the day, and it's good. That's why we're here.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing as well.
I'm different to Vuj because I always knew this was gonna happen. Okay. I always knew this was gonna happen. 100%. I swear to God, fam. That's the reason why it's happened. I can't be proven wrong. I was the first person. I sat down with Mitch in fucking Nando's with Rico, so next on, and we had two options: either go home and make a football show, or go to this free party in some bloody hotel, bruv. A man just went home and made a football show. And then that's when Google were like, oh, we want to take that football show. Because I thought to myself, because this is so easy. Why can't anyone see? You just put a human. Like, you look at who goes to a football match and then look at who's speaking about football. This just doesn't make sense. If there's 60,000 people that look like myself or look like Vuj or look like one of the people that you see on the street, why are we listening to a man in a suit? It just does. This didn't make sense to me. So I was like, I need to do something that makes sense to me, because I know football because of playing in Ferry Lane Estate, and I felt like we should be more representative of that person. And then I said to myself, if I know football for being in a group of people, why should it just be me speaking about football? So when I had the opportunity to bring someone that was lit, but then that's why I always wanted to do Filthy Fellas. I always wanted to do a show with loads of people, because there's loads of different voices in football. It's not just down to me and Vuj. There's bare people, and the way like football was before, there was like these gatekeepers, and it was like, if you're not there, you're worth nothing. No one really cared about the journalists writing about it. It was just like, did you read what the Mirror said? Whoever's in the Mirror, they're not important.
That was like music as well, innit?
Do you know where I'm coming from? So now what I think is lit is what me and Vuj have managed to do, is create this world where the people have the voice.
Yeah.
Not the guy that's sitting in a fucking studio with a million cameras. Not to say that he's any better or not. It's just that I feel like everybody's involvement in football
more voices involved,
and there's more authentic voices. People that spend money, people that go to games, and that's the reasons why things are getting changed. Look how more human footballers are now.
They got, obviously, Mitch announced his thing today. He's got Match of the Day X.
Yeah.
Where it's like him, Reece Parkins, and a good guy.
Match of the Day X doesn't happen without me and Vuj. I'm done with the humble thing. None of this stuff happens without me and Vuj. That's the reality of the situation.
That's why I said. That's why I said. That's why I started off this thing. 1 second. That's why I started off this thing by saying, like, there's a really
Soldier Boy thing.
No, there's
come on.
Like, I don't. Like, you lot.
Why not, Poe, bro?
This is the thing, Vuj, yeah, because like obviously you said before, you know, like sometimes like when you're just in it, you don't really.
No, you don't.
You know what I mean? But like from the outside looking in, yeah, I just feel like there's a very, very, very interesting conversation to be had about the start of your journey, yeah, and how like what you lot was doing to where everything is at now.
Like, when you think
and
about
it's mental. I don't think
bro,
that you actually really get it.
You know what it is? I only clock it now.
It's really mental,
I'll search
bro.
FIFA and Chill, or like Copper Night, where we done, yeah. I'll be like, we interviewed Beckham 3 years ago at the Adidas store. Like, not a year ago, 6 months ago. We did it 3 years ago. We interviewed Neymar. Like, we got Neymar to do migraine scan.
But also, I hear that. But you know what? I just want to go. I want to go a little bit deeper. I want to go a little bit deeper than that.
Amazing.
Yeah. Look at like Grime Daily. Yeah. like before GRM Daily, Grime Daily, at a point, all they was posting was certain type of videos that were music related. Then, obviously, they've seen what you've done and they've posted that. That was like instantly almost like a small little statement without them necessarily saying it or maybe even realizing what they're doing. But it's like, these lot are us.
Yeah.
They are us.
Yeah.
And we do like football.
Yeah.
We're going to post them.
So
this is a part of what we're doing.
What was the first football show? Where did it go? Where did the first football show go?
Where did the first football show go?
Yeah, the first urban football show. Quote unquote. Grime Daily.
Oh, well, this is it.
Because Poet did.
But
I made the show put it on Grime Daily.
Shit.
Like, bro, I don't care about this humble thing when it comes to certain situations. I proper don't care. Like, let's just tell the truth, cuz. Yeah. None of this happens without me and Vuj.
100%.
None of it. None of it happens without me and Vuj.
That's facts.
I swear to God, bro.
And now brands
saw it and I said
open
to myself, yo, this is not cool. Like, this is not happening. What's going on? Like, you're trying to tell me there's no black people, no ethnic minority, working class people whose voice is authentic in football. It belongs to all these middle class, upper class people. But when you watch a Sky Sports celebration, I'm watching a brother who probably just come out of the job centre this morning screaming to the top of his lungs. Why is he got something to say? Why can't he say something? Why can't his voice be represented? And that was like, I want to represent that voice because I feel that's just as integral as everything else that's happening. Because I appreciated what happening, but I just feel like it was a misconception of other things. Do you know what I mean? I'm so happy.
It's great, bro.
Like, proper happy, bro. Like, beyond happy.
I'm happy.
So
I can't. You're saying it's amazing, bro.
This is it's lit.
Great.
It's weird, Vuj, because I feel like every time I see you, you seem from my perspective, you seem to like unlock a new level in life every time.
I'm on that.
So you're like, like the first time I see you, you're like, yeah, I'm happy, I'm good, I'm, you know what I mean, I'm figuring certain things out, whatever. Then I see you again and it's like, you know, like there's like an extra level of like lightness. I don't even know if I told you this, yeah. I think I might have said it to Poet, but one time it was just me and you having a conversation when you came. And you came, yeah, and I was like, rah, this guy, it's like Jesus has walked in the building.
Come on.
He was wearing all white. He was just light. He just floated into the studio. Like, it was like you wasn't even walking. It was like you just floated into the studio. You just sat down. And then we just started having a good old chat about fucking voting. I think that was that conversation.
Nah, because I'm very into like, I don't like speaking about it. No one speak about it, but I'm very
speaking about
I'm very into like self-analysis and like inner processes, feelings, thoughts, emotions, like why we are. I ask why a lot of myself and my environment, and
same.
When you do that every day consistently for like years, I don't do it like, I literally do it every day. So when you do that every day, you're getting to know yourself every day. So I've been getting to know myself every day, and I've lost a lot of interest in the world, and I've really gained a lot of interest in who I am. Yeah. And that's given me more comfort in myself and more just light, and I feel better in myself.
How does that reflect in your work?
I mean, it's obviously I had tough periods because things are not always rosy, are they? And we were speaking about it today, and we were kind of saying like, not unfortunately, but it seems like there's this sort of like ironic, I don't know what the word is, where you have to go down. If you want to understand life, you sometimes have to go through the deepest pains and maybe suffering for you to then be able to appreciate life for really what it is. Yeah. And I think like I definitely went down into very, very interesting territories, and that allowed me to gain a different perspective onto life and into my life. And so now I do enjoy it a lot more, I have to admit. Like, I just try not to take things so seriously.
Was there ever a time you wanted to just give up, Poet?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Poet as well.
For me?
Like, just thought... Nah.
Poet, no. But no.
Like, in the spin, like, if I think properly...
What about when the Copper 90 stuff happened? Did you not
instantly,
feel...
that's not a reflection of how I feel. That's just an instant reflection of the circumstances I'm in.
Got you.
But if you ask me properly, Paul, you're going to give up. Miles, life cannot defeat me. I'm telling everyone here, there's going to be times where I'm going to be upset and I'm going to think to myself, what's going on? But if I think about the prospect of life defeating me, I'm just not on it, bro. Like, I'm genuinely not on it.
Like sometimes.
No, you're in a space where you're upset and you're down, but throwing it all away.
Works have a run.
Like, you might say something spontaneously. How many times have I said, I don't want to be my girl? But like, what do you really mean? Like, when I'm telling you, if I was going to give up, bro, I would have given up when the Dappy thing happened. With one extra, and I got kicked out, banned for 10 10 years.
10
10 years.
years.
They send you an email. You're banned from 10 years for 1 extra. Remember, I just was getting
10,
the,
you know.
I was just getting the show.
The whole decade.
Man got a decade ban.
A decade ban. A decade
From the
ban.
US for 10 years, like.
So I can show you the email. Like,
Oh no, that's
when
like a gun charge.
That's not bad too.
Did
They
I
got like a
get-
gun charge.
Decade ban.
Certain man go-
And bear in mind, that's in
So man, the
2000
equivalent of a gun charge.
Trust me, and that's in 2011 when there's not even that many spaces for black people or coming from. There's none. There's none really.
That's
I
mad.
still didn't give up. Then you've got look how much things happen, man. If I was gonna give, I would have given up time ago,
Nah, yeah,
bro.
yeah.
When I take a look at the amount of faces
I
that
know.
have been in the scene since I've been here, 2008, bro. It's 2019. It's 11 years. I have seen bare man come and go, and I've just heard bare excuses.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, nah, bro. Like,
It's a question I just wanted to ask, and obviously because you
I've
lot are
definitely
pioneers.
questioned.
Don't,
I've
man.
definitely.
Don't give up, bro.
I definitely
Give up.
had a
I don't
period.
even. I mean, like give up on life, bro. I'm not even
life?
speaking like. I'm saying life in general.
oh yeah, life in general.
Not like work. I'm saying like I'm talking about give up on this thing, the
Of
existence. thing.
like the
Oh,
existence.
existence.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
wow.
At bare times.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
a whole
That's what I
thing.
was
Yeah.
gauging at.
Is that where you? Is that? And that, did you feel like that at a point? Really? Yeah.
Give up on everything. Yeah, it's a whole nother.
Is it like?
Have you come through it though, Vuj?
Mashallah,
there.
mashallah.
Yeah.
They're
Can
in
we-
the
can we
league
give
top,
them a round of
bro.
applause
The
for that,
Duke
though?
are on
No,
the
but
back.
everyone. I feel like everyone.
Yeah,
need a round
That's
of
a
applause.
big
That's
thing
amazing.
though,
But
because some
what I'm
people
saying
don't
is,
come
yeah.
out the other side of the tunnel, bro.
No, I just wanted to just like.
I'm proud of you for that.
Is it
man.
like? Is it like a bunch
Big man
of
thing?
different? Because obviously it's not just work. There's like obviously other things in life, like family, like relationships with
Yeah,
maybe
bro, life's
women,
insane.
all of these type
Life's
of things.
amazing, but insane and
Yeah,
wonderful, but
I
crazy.
hear that still. I mean, I definitely felt, I definitely questioned what I was doing.
Your
I definitely,
existence? Why am I here?
yeah, kind of.
What's my
But
purpose?
well,
But
do you know
that's
what?
the
Do you know what is
questions,
weird?
though.
I'll tell you what is weird. Yeah, I questioned everything that I was doing. Yeah, which made me question my life. Yeah, which made me question my existence, like
Yeah.
what my purpose was. But then, ironically, it was my belief in my purpose that made me continue doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because I felt like when there was moments when I felt like I just don't even want to do this anymore, there was still that other thing in me that's like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be moving and in this. You just need to find a new perspective. That was all I needed to do.
Shift the perspective.
Yeah, I needed to shift that. But I've also felt as well, when I was going through the stage of me feeling that way, yeah, I was like in an emotional space. So I almost had to say to myself, I need to see if the energy is the same when I'm not in this space.
Nah, see,
When
so
I'm
when
like
you're
out
happy-
of this space and I'm like, okay, cool. No, this is not what I want to do. Then maybe I might start taking it a bit more seriously. But because I'm just feeling down and I'm just a bit emotional and all of these things, I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. But
you know
that's
what?
not
That's what I'm
necessarily the
saying.
best space to
And that's why
make
now
those
question,
decisions.
I have to retract my statement. No, I've never wanted to quit because everything I've wanted to do, I've done. So that lets me know, if I'm being totally honest with myself, that realistically, circumstances have swayed me, but not swayed me because then it would have been the end. Because everything I've said I wanted to do, everything I've said that I want, has happened. Like literally everything I've said that I want, like I'm gonna work for it. I have to work for it. That I know I'm in control of. Not nothing that is mad, superficial or something crazy. But everything I've said in my mind, I want to do this. Whether it's gone well or it's gone bad, I've actually done it. So the things that I've claimed that I want to do because of circumstances I clearly didn't want to do, otherwise I would have executed them. The proof's in the pudding. If I'm a man of my word, I have to be a man of my word. That's all I've got. Like, I know for a fact when I think about it now, nah, bro, like I've never wanted to give up. Otherwise I would have given up. I've never not even wanted to do something. I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
That's
you-
the reality, bro.
Have you, man?
I think manifestation is sick still.
Have you?
Speaking into existence is
Oh,
good
sorry.
unless you work,
I'll tell you
but
after.
working for it is the way forward. Like, see, manifestation, when you speak stuff into existence, I think it only works when you're actually working towards that. Don't just say
Oh, yeah.
stuff into existence.
Yeah, you
Work
can't
for it.
just sit and lie on your bed and say, yeah,
Yeah.
boom. Man's
That's
gonna
why
be out
manifestation
here
for me is a bit
fucking-
mad.
Huh?
That's why when
You
I
gotta-
hear man
you
say
have to-
speak it into
Yeah,
existence,
you have
no,
to be
do it.
working. You have to be like making an active. You have to be doing something active for something like that to happen.
But
you
in
can't just
relative
lie
to
down.
what he said,
I used to have a
think-
cousin, who used to think, yeah, he used to rap, and I used to always
I
get
don't
this
like
vibe
you.
from him.
I don't like it.
I used to always get this. No, this I say this with love, yeah. But I used to always get this vibe from him, yeah, that
But he was a
he
shit
just
rapper.
felt like one day,
Bet you.
no. He used to feel like I got bare cousins that rap, bro. Trust me. But it's like it's almost like he'd feel like one day he would just like wake up and
Get
everyone would
signed.
be outside just chanting your name. And it's like, it doesn't work like that.
No way.
You have to be more active, and you gotta, you just gotta start. You gotta start working smart. Going in the studio and making the music is one thing, but that's just one thing.
Chucky, I know so much people like that.
You could just go in the studio and make the sick, like you can make the sickest tune, but that's just in the studio. What happens next?
But he believes in himself, innit? So
yeah, but you can believe in yourself, but there still becomes a point where there's things that you have to do, or a maneuver that you might have to make in order for dots to connect. You can be in the studio and just believe that you're the sickest. You can go in that booth right now and believe that you're the sickest barra in the world right now. But if you don't do nothing with it, then what is that? It's just, it stays in the booth.
Yeah. Sometimes you get opportunities. Some people give you opportunities. You never know. It's like Poet. You've reformed my life, I could say, bro.
I know your life,
but he's not.
He helped me though, bro. I'm telling you, the conversation I phoned you. You don't remember it. I phoned you, Poet. What are you doing today? I ain't seen you in ages. It's been like 8 months. Oh, nothing. I'm just going on radio. That conversation that day has changed my life. I'm telling you.
I think it's really important, to give roses when people can smell them. And I'm forever messaging a couple people here and there, just letting them know, you know what I mean? Like, there's love there, and I appreciate you, or I see what it is that you're doing, because those things go a long way. Do you get me? When someone that like I love dearly, I proper check for, messages me and just says to me, yo, Chucks, like,
you're right.
I see what you're doing, like, you know what I mean? Like, is everything okay? Whatever. That means everything to me.
Bro.
So when I know that makes me feel some type of way, I just try to give that too. Hence why I'm not going to go into all of that. But sometimes, I hit Poet and we share certain types of messages or whatever. And that's the thing. I think, that there are times when you're so involved in what it is that you're doing, that you're not necessarily aware of the small little things that you do that can help other people. Do you get me? By making that little one connect there, and if that's a £5, a man did what? I needed that £5 at that time. Do you get what I'm saying? I've had a few of them through some of my brethrens or whatnot, and those things have then gone on to help me go and do other things. But as I was saying, like, you have to be active in what it is that you're doing in order for other things to happen. See, like you, man, are working doing so you're starting your own channel and stuff like that. Prior to that moment, if you wasn't doing that, if you just sat there and just rested on your laurels, shit ain't just gonna just come to you.
No, you definitely have to go for it. 100%.
Chucky, if you know, sir, I'm not resting for no one, fam. I'm not on it.
You can't rest, man.
Vuj will tell you, fam. Even when we were at Copper, there's no just me sticking with Copper. There was never on the agenda. It was, I'm not relying on you lot to make me successful, because you lot care about your business, which is more evident today than it's ever been. I care about me and my friends. Like, I proper love my brethren, so I'm always like, what can we do with our brethren to make it so we're all growing? Because you lot don't care about my friends. You've made that clear. So I've got to find and get my way, my friends inside here, and that's all I cared about. And I just genuinely think that's the best attitude to have within a particular scene, because it's like, once you build a network of your friends, bro, how come I gonna fail in a situation?
We're all having a nice friends right now, bro. I just think life's great, bro.
Like, imagine this: it's me, Vuj. I'm with Skits. I'm with Miles. Alf. I'm with Yinka. We've all come from Filthy Fellas.
Yeah, of course.
We've all just filmed some content at Filthy Fellas, and before that, me and Vuj were filming something at Lemonade Money.
Yeah.
And these are all the people that we've known for years, maintained good relationships, been cool with. They're just nice people.
Have a nice.
Everyone's doing cool, man.
Man's having a nice.
And say furthermore, he's got his t-shirts coming out. Swipe up. Miles can swipe up now.
I can swipe up. I'll give myself a round of applause.
No, you have to give context. Obviously, you was like on.
Was that Filthy, and then our producer.
You was on how many followers?
I was on like 9,000
for time, innit?
And for people that don't know, if you're what is it, below 10k, you can't do the swipe up.
Yeah, you can't do swipe up. So when I do content and you got to swipe up to click the link,
you got to put the whole link.
Okay. So wait. So see, like when you get like, you see, like, because you know what happens. For extra context here, because not everyone knows how this thing works. So like sometimes what happens is now when you're part of things and certain things start happening, brands start hitting you up, right? Brands start hitting you up. So like, let's just say hypothetically speaking, Bumble, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Bumble hit you up, and they say we're gonna offer you this money, but we need you to post this and we need a swipe up. We say there's peak for you.
it was peak because
you have to ask people. Swipe up over there.
It was peak because I was like, yeah,
you have to use someone else's Snapchat. Innit?
You got to do these swipe ups. But for me, I was like, I can't swipe. She's like, why? Because I ain't got 10K, so I got to say, click the link in my bio. She was like, say swear. All right, let me get back to them. Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, okay.
You're good, man.
Yeah, they didn't feel sorry for
Bumble Pay.
Yeah.
Brands.
Yeah.
Shout them still.
Shout out you guys for that
I'm on
shit.
a single team dating apps and that Hinge. Come on. Hinge is alright.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you though. Like, obviously, I've done a couple of things like that or whatever. But I do find them difficult. I do find, because you know what it is, yeah. I tell you why I find it difficult, yeah. Because I get uncomfortable when I don't feel like I'm being myself.
On what?
So like, this is just in general, yeah. So like, when people come to me and say to me, you know what, we're this brand or whatnot, and we'll pay you X amount of money for whatever. When they say to me, okay, this is what we need you to do. We need you to go on your Snap and we need you to say this, that, and this, that. I'm trying to like, because I don't want to be on my thing and be like, hey everybody, just want to let everyone know that you can do, because that's not how I do my thing. Like, my thing is not like that. You know how I run my Insta
does that though.
That's not how I run my Insta Snap. I just like do my. What's that? Say again. God, I missed it. I'll have to hear that back. I'll have to hear it back. I missed it back.
What did he say?
I said you got to do a podcast on the whole thing.
Okay, well, yeah.
Fucking idiot.
1 hour convo. Well, Bumble actually.
Yeah, but I can't.
How did you guys come?
But do you know what? That makes more. That almost makes more sense to me.
It makes more sense.
If a brand comes to me and said, you know, we're gonna sponsor the thing, whatever, and talk, but that's cool. But if I've got to go on my thing and be like, hey everybody, I just want to let everybody know that you can, and swipe up afterwards. I can't do it.
Life isn't that black and white.
No, but you don't have to be like
that. I know you don't. I know
You
you
can be
don't.
Chucky and do
Yeah,
that.
that's what
I know, but some I'm
Or be
already
in the background.
You know, he's on his front of his laptop and he'll be watching like Halfcast and everyone knows out or something he's seen. You can do that, and it could just be the app that you're talking about, and then just say,
I know.
You're just finding excuses.
No, I need to do. You know what I mean? Because I'm missing out on some of the bags.
Brands,
I'm missing out on some of the bags.
man.
Now I get they hit me, but sometimes I miss out on some of them still. I do some of them. Huh?
Yeah, not all.
Because of how the dating apps are advertised. Like,
No, it's not. No, I don't want to make it about them because it wasn't. It's not them. It's just like it's a brand in general. Yeah, I don't want to make that. I don't want it to seem like I'm not talking about any brand specifically because I get them now. I'm starting to get emails every day.
You just don't respond to them, Chucky.
A little 2% clout here.
You're doing your thing.
I mean, I'm working. But like, yeah, sometimes like I don't know. I'm an overthinker sometimes. I do some of them. You know what I mean? I went to America and did that.
I was meant to go to that. And I fucking didn't.
You think I was gonna miss that when they said to me, "Yeah, we're gonna." Oh my god! Do you know what? Yeah, there was a particular person. Yeah, when we was on the plane.
Ross, name the name.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll tell you afterwards. Yeah.
Was this the fight?
Just for clarity as well, because not everyone.
Was this when you went to New York?
I went to New York. Yeah, to see the Anthony Joshua fight with JD. Whatever.
No. What else?
They invited me.
What do you mean? What else?
What can you make?
What do you mean? What else?
Huh?
What else?
You let them know how you travelled, big man.
Oh yeah, no, but I didn't go in the private jet though.
Some people went in a private jet.
Yeah, some people went in the private jet. Okay, so this was the thing. It's
you
funny
went in
that you say that. No. It's funny that you say that. No. This is good. This is good. So I'm sitting on in my plane, right? Because I come from like Heathrow. Heathrow's not even that far from my yard. Then there was somebody next to me who was absolutely for a good percentage of the journey livid.
What?
Livid. She was livid that she wasn't in the private jet.
I think I know who it is.
She was livid.
Are you serious?
Because I watched his Insta story.
Livid.
My brain's.
I had to actually say. At one point, I actually had to say, babes,
it's not that deep.
We're going in a plane that's being paid for. Like they're gonna pay for our ticket to go to New York. And they're going to pay for all of our expenses. And we get to go to Madison Square Garden. And we don't have to spend a penny.
Yeah.
Like, it could be worse. No. I understand that for social media. Listen.
No, it hurts me.
Wait.
I listened to everything Chucky said. And one thing Chucky didn't say is, they got paid. Well, you're fucking big. So you're big enough to just go on a flight. But now you want to pick and choose.
No, a couple man got
if you
paid.
don't like that,
that
person doesn't sound like they got paid, big man.
Listen, let me tell you something, yeah.
That person don't sound like they got paid.
I declined it. I was like, "Rise their peas," and they were like, "No." I was like, "Well."
But this is the thing, yeah. From a social media point of view, I understand that the private jet thing looks a little bit extra lit. It does. I get it.
But like, come on,
But
fam.
it's okay.
Too.
It's okay.
Chucky, it's not that deep, my bro. Like,
Bro, man's going New York.
This is what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
I've never been.
Some more band in
What's she
that,
paying?
She was Chris.
That's cool.
She was definitely Chris.
Is it?
She won't Chris enough for the private check.
Nah, but you know, after that, she got it.
Yes.
She was just like, she just smiled and she was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I said it's gonna be lit. It was a vibe.
Fam, New York is. I've really
banging
fallen in love.
city,
New
bro.
York's banging. It's lit.
Dying to
Cold.
go, man.
I love New York, fam. You don't have time to worry
man.
about private
Go,
big
man.
man.
You got the New York.
It's a
T on
6-hour
right now.
flight, and I'm in New York.
Exactly for the weekend.
Come
Madison
on.
Square Garden.
Come on, to watch the boxing.
Yeah, exactly.
Anthony Joshua.
And he lost. And let me tell you something.
That's
Yeah,
History.
history.
Her
Yeah.
story. It's someone's story,
He was
big man.
there.
It's your story.
When they asked me to go, at first I was like, it would be sick if it was like a bit more of a meaningful fight. Like, no disrespect,
Right.
but I thought, you know what?
He's gonna bang him.
It would be good if it was like Wilder or, you know what I mean, something like that. But I'm still gonna go.
Yeah.
So obviously, for that time when we was out there, whatever, like it was good, it was sick. Got there, boom, it was a vibe. Then flipping, AJ's knocked him down, and it's like, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. He's gonna knock him out now, whatever. Next minute, now AJ gets knocked down, and then we're like, whoa.
What's going on here?
Then he gets knocked down again. The next minute, I'm on a man's lap. I couldn't believe what the fuck was going on, brother. You like literally, no, bro. Let me tell you something here.
Pause.
I know it sounds mad,
crazy.
but
I'm
it was
trying to think.
disbelief.
I'm
You said it on
thinking
your
to
story
change
as
the-
well.
I spoke about
You
it
was
already.
flabbergasted
It
on
was
the story.
absolute disbelief. I've never been in a stadium. This is the thing as well, yeah.
Madison Square
Mood is that's infectious and contagious,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
So when you're in a space where there's thousands of people in absolute shock, it exaggerates that feeling a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
The dude that was next to me, his heart was beating fast, bro. He had left. Bare people left.
Because they're gonna stop my man get beat up.
Yeah, bro. Some people could not watch it, bro. People were getting up and leaving. They couldn't. It was like
Watching your
it
dad
felt
get
so
beat up.
sad. Yeah, because it felt like you're watching like somebody that you love.
Your
your
son
dad.
or something.
Yeah.
If you saw your dad getting punched up, you have to walk away.
No, you're
Yeah,
joking.
exactly.
I might all lie and say that.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
want to
my
join
dad.
in?
Walk away.
Yeah, you
What?
want to join
You
in?
walk away if you saw your dad getting punched
If
up.
I'm 12 years old, which I was, and I didn't see my dad get beat up, he
Oh,
done his
okay.
thing.
No, you
But if
still
he
probably
did get
wouldn't.
beat up,
He's like-
I'm calling the other man my dad. There's no rules.
That's fuckery.
Thank you, my new dad.
But yeah, no, we're not going over. They're going to announce that again soon. And you know what?
December.
Just talking off the back of like talking about being yourselves and personalities and whatever. Like Dan needs to get roses, man. I just feel like Dan needs to get
Savage
roses.
Dan is the man, bro.
Like we let me explain something to you about Dan quickly, yeah. When I had the idea to do the podcast, I hit Poet. I'm like, yo, should we just do a podcast? Poet was like, what about? I said about anything. Poet starts shouting down the phone. Yeah, because I want to talk about this and that, blah blah, whatever. So I was like, you know
so
what? Yeah,
excited.
I need to find. We met, had a conversation. Then I was like, I need to just find a space. So I rang Casa, who's Hailey from Western's brother, and I was like, do you know any studios? And he was like, yeah, there's a studio that Hailey's recorded in, like, here's the number. Rang it, it was Dan. Obviously, like, I've just gone, I've met Dan. Dan was just running the studio or whatever. And then, like, we were just in the studio, just recording a podcast. But every once in a while, yeah, Dan would, like, chime in and he would say something that was funny. You're going to be, oh, okay. It's all right, it's cool. Every once in a while, Dan would just sort of chime in and say something that was just kind of funny or whatever.
Yeah,
And then,
legend.
like, yeah, exactly. Then it was like, you know what? We need to give him a microphone still. Gave him a microphone and like his input always had a reaction.
Yeah.
Remember, we used to call him Producer Dan until we start realizing he's not producing shit.
Savage.
He's not producing anything. Then we just called him Savage Dan, and
Yeah,
then
Savage
boy, my man running a studio. Studios now, but like loads of people were using the podcast, using his studio to
Now
record
he's
podcasts.
interviewing all these boxes.
Nah, flipping.
doing stuff
Then
for
Filthy
Chelsea.
Fellas. Filthy Fellas then
Kit released-
opens up another door
But
for
there's a
him, bro.
part of that
Chelsea.
story missing because what would have happened was through me and Chucky doing the podcast, everyone wants to do podcasts now.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
you lot are
only
the
me and
pioneers.
Chucky doing that.
You lot are the
So
pioneers.
everyone's phoning me and Chucky, and one of the person that phoned me was Taser Black. And Taser Black goes, "Po,
Yep.
where should I do this podcast?" I was firstly asking about the idea, and I said to him, "Bro, you have to do it. You've got an engaged audience for your thing. It makes sense for you to do it." Taser Black then goes to somewhere you can recommend. I said, "Come on." I phoned Dan, yo, Dan, boom, boom. Next thing you know, my man's on that podcast talking as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Bare
started.
people phone me about
That
this
started
place.
from our group chat.
What's that?
That's like from our group
Who
chat.
started first? Free shots or you man?
These man.
You man did it, didn't
I
it?
am Soulja Boy. I will not copy anyone.
We're a year. I think
And you know the thing about it is though, you know
It was you man, innit?
They,
copied
like,
you,
they
man.
always show up.
they were like
we're
probably
close,
like
right?
there may have been some
But
that
it
we
matters
weren't
not,
aware
right?
about, but like we're pretty much a year ahead of most.
Yeah,
people.
you're the forefathers. You're not the forefathers.
But
And Chucky's the real forefather because the first time I wanted to do a podcast is when I saw Chucky interview Wiley on a podcast and it blew my mind. So the real forefather is Chucky. If we're being totally
but there was
honest.
podcasting. I don't want to be.
No,
clear,
no, but
podcasting
Chucky.
didn't
You
exist
man
understand.
birthed Joe Rogan.
Chucky.
Joe Rogan soft.
Chucky, let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's trends, innit?
yeah.
There's always things that are happening
got
around.
it.
Someone makes it trendy. Someone goes,
You lot-
this is the thing to
You
do.
lot made it trendy in this
Stop
country.
being humble, Chucky.
Yeah. In this
That's
country,
what happened.
in this country, podcasts in America was booming.
For urban
Here,
culture within this
yeah.
country,
Yeah,
no one was doing podcasts.
'Cause you
And if
wouldn't even
anybody was,
Yeah,
no
you're
disrespect to them, I don't think there was somebody that ended up shifting it so
Yeah.
it became a thing.
Yeah.
Me and you shifted it so it became a thing.
calling myself-
Furthermore, you shifted it so it became a thing.
I'm the parody king. Fuck it, I'm just saying it now.
Yeah, you lot
That's my
shifted it.
Don't
King.
listen, my brother. Stick with the energy, my G.
But you know what? Even on just talking on the like the way that
Parodies are
like
the best.
the
I
again
agree.
the way that
Say
the
it one
scene and
day.
we spoke about this just a little bit before, but the way that the scene is going, you're looking at all of these other things that are like becoming really big off the back of that as well, which is like podcasting. Podcasting is a massive thing right now,
Yeah.
and you're
Amazing.
seeing even the likes of Free Shots doing Hammersmith
Shows, yeah.
Listen,
Apollo,
them
which is
three guys
massive.
They're
That's
on
absolutely
our
a
next
massive.
thing.
You man could do venues here.
Well, we're you know
Yeah, come on.
When do we announce?
Announcement pending.
What?
Not yet.
Not yet.
This
Oh,
one.
it's
Leave
announced.
it. No,
You know
man.
what?
Nah. It's got to be right. It's got to.
So
You know what, nasty?
that's an exclusive.
I said that just so they know it's coming. So I have announced it.
All right, look.
You are
Anyway,
sick, man.
let's get back
Everyone knows
to.
that anyway. Everyone knows that.
Well done.
But yeah, anyway, listen. Sick on the YouTube channel and that.
Thank you, bro.
You
Yeah,
know what I
man,
mean?
subscribe if you like football entertainment, and obviously we're gonna be having like guests to do. We're gonna do podcasts.
Yeah.
But just if you've watched us on Copper Night, it's a similar energy. Just be ourselves and have fun, really. I
Yeah.
think that's the beautiful thing about me and Poet is like we're very different characters, but we're also very similar. And when we speak to people and just entertain in terms of football and having fun, it just works really well, man. Like
He's
I
a
really
legend.
enjoy working with Poet.
Mm.
Really fun guy. And yeah, bro. No, I'm really happy. We got like 20k subs,
Yeah.
which is great. We only have one video.
Do you two
cool.
feel like, see, like before, obviously you were self-employed, but still kind of employed by Copper
There
90,
you go,
yeah?
yeah.
Do you feel like really self-employed now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it feels good. Like,
Oh yeah.
but like even like I even say like I'm not closing my doors to. I'm always open to people working with me. Like whoever it is, like my door's always open, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm like I have no
I got a
beef with
couple doors
anyone.
that are closed.
Yeah, probably I have a few more.
Oh,
doors.
seriously? You closed a couple of them.
Nah, remember, everyone needs to know trust and loyalty, fam. Loyalty, respect. Those are the things I care about. And if that's this, you can't trust people like that. Do you know what I mean? The reason why I love Vuj so much is because all he's ever done is enhance the person that he is from the day when he's met me, and he's inspired me, and he's changed my process of thought, and he's made me more open to so much different things. He's like, the things he showed me makes me go, that's not for me. Like I can confidently say that's not for me. Regardless, I know myself so much better from seeing somebody who's very confident within themselves. It just makes you analyze yourself a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I can honestly say, like,
Even-
confidently the things that I'm saying today,
Yeah.
because.
But like, 'cause I can't lie, it's funny because obviously like you leave one thing, right, or like you make it known that you're doing your own thing.
Yeah.
The amount of emails you're getting, like
Okay.
there's a couple things, then you're just like you're potentially turning down. But like because of the experiences you've had, you might. I can't be more than grateful, bro.
I think I've got the right analogy for it.
You learn.
You're in a relationship now. With
In a
your gut.
relationship with yourself.
No, I would say you're in a relationship. This is the analogy now.
With your
yeah.
partner.
This is what you lot. Yeah, you're in a relationship, right? No, not them two together. I'm talking about like the company that you was with.
Yeah.
So that's the relationship that you was in. Yeah, things were going good. You know what I mean? You was flourishing in that relationship. Yeah. You've come out of that relationship now. Bear gal is on you. Bear gal is
what?
sitting you up now in the DM.
Shall I
That's
light up
exactly
that
what it's like
analogy
now,
more?
isn't it? That's what it's
The
like.
relationship was never good. It just looked great on social media.
Okay.
I could just be.
Oh shit!
That's the saddest thing, fam.
That's the.
But then Bear Gal are hitting you up in the DM now, which is bare businesses that are kind of like, ooh, what
Nah,
you're not working. Ooh.
But at the same time, like I
over
feel like
here.
I've learned so much about like myself and life and people and business, and it allows you to then go into a next potential thing or even your own independent thing, a lot more clued up and a lot more just willing to do things. Like even like being around Poet, like I'm not a big hard worker. I just do things when I feel like it. But like being around Poet, even I am now at times like I might as well just do it. I've got songs that have been sitting on my laptop for like 2-3 years.
So long, bro.
Do you know who
Like
it sounds
2,
like I'm
3
speaking? Do you know who it sounds like I'm
bro.
speaking right now?
Yeah.
JME. You two just
I think
exactly the same.
I this thing is even with me, like I don't really follow a scene or the scene or like I'm into very niche things.
Yeah.
So even like I like people, so I'd be like I'm attracted to people. Like JME, I like Skepta, I like individuals. I'll be like I like Little B. He's not around anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll pick and choose what I really really like, and a lot of the time it's personality based or message based or I tend to not kind of focus on what's happening a lot. So a lot of the time I'm not really in tune with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So
what's the biggest thing you've learned in business, would you say?
Wow.
What about you, Poker?
I feel like no money is worth your authenticity.
That is
Okay,
a good
that's
one.
No money, you can't compromise on authenticity.
That is a
Like
good
I don't
one.
even believe in compromise per se in general. But no money or nothing, once that gut instinct, if you can't cut off the gut. Once you cut off the gut, you're not yourself anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's when shit starts going just like haywire. That's why man start drinking, man start doing bits and bobs.
Trust me, I can only,
You know what I'm saying?
I have to echo that.
You
thought.
start going into different spaces where you're like, right, is this even me? Ooh. And
Yeah,
because you're like, nah, let me just do it. Every time you go, oh, let me do that because it'll be cool. Don't do that, bro. Or do it because you're going to learn a lesson, isn't it?
Yeah.
But either way, whatever you do, you're going to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
But you maybe don't need to learn the lesson as deeply if you just cut it early. So a lot of the time I just didn't follow my gut. And that's not even like business, I'm saying relationships, life.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm grateful to the moments that I didn't do that because going
Right.
into those moments where I'm not myself, you find out who you really are.
True.
So
I'll give you
I don't think there's any negative. There's no negative really. It's
Two
just like
perspectives I'll give you.
authenticity.
Business is from business in terms of like, okay, I'm managing something, and from a freelance perspective, and I will just say what Vuj said is the honest to God truth. Like, honestly, don't forget the reasons why you did it. Me and Vuj, when we done this at the start, I can't imagine us thinking that we were going to make huge amounts of money for it. It was just really
money.
fun.
I'm thinking about Brica, Eastern Europe. Like I wasn't.
And I'm thinking about and I'm thinking about bloody wearing my Tottenham tracksuit and just chatting nonsense
having
on the
a
net,
laugh, really.
having a laugh, not taking things serious. And the reasons why I become extremely unhappy, not just in life, where people would probably have watched this podcast, I look depressed as fuck.
Brother,
And
I think they wanted you off.
they wanted me
Freak,
off.
bro.
No,
Do
bro.
you know why? It's because I was such in a bad place because everything I was doing, it was not because of enjoyment. I almost became a slave to what I was doing, and I was it was the equivalent of working any job in the world you genuinely don't like.
And
So
that's-
I would only
sorry to
say-
cut you off, Pose.
One
That's
sec,
when
you
that's.
can't cut me off. One sec.
Oh, what?
I understand this.
That's
I
mad.
welcomed you to
That
my
was just-
podcast.
yeah,
In show
okay.
respect. So that's the first
Yeah, but
thing.
I am showing respect. Okay, go on.
The second. I know,
That was.
Go on,
was
no, wait, go,
mad.
go,
That was-
go.
that was so
brutal.
good.
Go.
The second thing I would say is
My
from
train
a
of thought was going.
business perspective now. From a business perspective, proper respect what you
It's
have.
poet. It's poet.
Like proper respect what you have.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all the people around me, as much as they're my friends, we have a business per se together. And because I proper respect Vuj, I proper respect Miles, I proper respect Skits and Yinka and the people I work with, you couldn't come to me and offer me something foolish and try to convince me that this is going to be very good for me, because that's what people try to do. They have an agenda.
Business is jokes,
And
bro.
exactly, and in business they have an agenda, and their most important thing is getting you to agree
Too
to
dumb,
doing
bro.
to what they want you to do, and that's their agenda. Like how you operate with your friends is irrelevant to them. It's the reasons why I've turned down loads of things for Filthy Fellas. I've turned down loads of things for myself. I've turned down loads of things when it comes to other situations because there's no integrity, fam. And that's one of
You know,
Jamie's
it's
best
tough.
albums.
Integrity, all these things. Like authenticity and like I feel like a lot of the time, one thing I've learned is like I used to think or have the perception when I was younger, once I get there, I'll have it, or once I get to that stage, I'll feel happy, or once that institution recognizes me, I'll be And I remember just having meetings in very different places, which nothing ever happened, but every time I'd get there, the people I'd meet there, I thought, whoa, this is going to be so good when I'm here. Like, whoa, this is going to be so good. Like, yeah, great. We're going to have some ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to like me. And then I'm there and I'm like, at the end of the meeting, I'm like, I don't really want to work with you.
Yeah.
And I like, you leave it and you're like, I've just left this big ass building. I don't even want, like, this is fun.
You don't
Because
even
your whole
want it.
perception flips. And you have to re-engage with what is it you want. And then you see, and once you just have to stay true to yourself, innit? Like that's what you man are doing as well. It's like what you man are doing here, Halfcast, is like you're staying true to what you do, bro. You haven't got some branding, and now you're talking about welcome. You haven't changed your agenda, but I feel like sometimes it's important to deviate and learn to then be able to go back to what you truly are. But I mean, that's why a lot of people go crazy in entertainment, because you have so many people making money off your energy. Because at the end of the day, like what we're putting out is our energy, and we're putting out our life experiences onto microphones, onto cameras, and these things aren't really to be monetized. We didn't enter this to be monetized by someone else. So you have to own this because it's your life experiences and it's your life that you're monetizing, and you deserve every penny of that. No one deserves a 50% cut or to be making £10 million off your ideas. Because what did their man do? Their man did. They're the status quo. They're the institutions. Why should you give your experiences to them so they can monetize and flourish? You can do it yourself. You can start a production company. You can get your boys to do it. You can get cameramen, people that fuck with each other. You might not make money for the first year or two, but then when you do make money, the money will feel so good when you make it. And you'll be like, this money feels good. Because making money and not feeling good, what's the point, bro?
What is the point?
Why do we go crazy? Like, why do entertainers go crazy, bro? People kill themselves. People take drugs. People are on fucking...
It's like they're always looking for a new alcohol. High. They honestly thought this was going to be the thing, and it wasn't the thing.
Bro,
and that was the thing. It's not the thing.
People are leeching that don't know you and your life off your thing. We have very genuine life experiences. We're not on it. But I'm saying, like, when I was younger, I didn't know.
He's lying. The first meeting I went with Vuj, he's lying. The first meeting I went with Vuj,
I did know.
I've walked in there like, but Vuj was like, no. This is what, and I was just like, you know when like the camera angles, I was like, oh.
No, because man was trying to talk about like,
and a man changed their whole prerogative, no, this is the first year.
I remember
the first year. Vuj changed as a young man to grown adults. They had to change everything they said to Vuj.
I'll be honest, that was my journey. No, my journey is like I knew exactly what I wanted very young.
No, but it was incredible.
I knew it too young.
It was incredible.
And then I went on a journey of like going left,
shifting
it, and then I was like realized I was losing my authenticity. Because it's true actually, what you're saying now, I do get it. Because when I was like 18, 19, people would be like, oh, how was your weekend? I'd be like, bro, let's talk about money. We're here for that.
Oh, okay.
And they'd be like, oh,
boom!
And they're 40 something.
And I'm looking at Vuj like,
why are we here? Why are you asking me how my weekend was, bro?
Chucks, I'm a young man that's like, boy, I'm gonna make a little money, boy. I'm going back to the hood little trainers now. Boys, no, fuck up this thing. Little did I know, we ended up getting more. I said, blood clot! Chat more down!
I think it's
honesty
as well. Honesty and like being honest but honest with yourself as well, I think, first. And then like you can be honest with others. But if you're not honest with yourself, bro, people are going to take advantage of you left, right, and centre.
And one thing I will say,
and you can't blame them because you've allowed it to happen.
Of course.
Bro.
If someone's called you, they have called you for a reason.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You need to figure out the reasons in which they're calling you, because the reason why I can say to you, like, it was easy for me to bounce back for the one extra situation with Dappy. Imagine I've worked my whole situation to be a DJ and one extra. That was my goal. And I've got Billy in security telling me, you're going to get all of these people in the building, you're the next up. And then the Dappy video comes out and I lose it all.
Yeah.
But isn't it great?
But that was my dream. But imagine this. Pierre, God bless his fucking soul, sat me down and told me straight, Po, it's you they want.
Pierre from who used to work
Pierre Godson, really good man, and he showed and he gave me inner strength, he gave me inner power. That's the reason why I love Vuj. When I see them being the best example of themselves, that makes me want to be the best example of me.
100 million.
When I see Yinka show value in herself and say, oh, I don't want to do that, it's alright, I don't care about the money. It makes me think about what I'm doing, and I'm around people that are so comfortable in being themselves as a business, because we essentially are all businesses in this. You have so much self-respect for your business that when man come and offer you something, because they think you're just like, cuz, bro,
you know what?
allow it.
Trust me.
Do it yourself.
Do it and see if it
rinse
works.
these brothers for every penny, fam. Rinse,
right.
see what these...
One of the reasons why this started.
You're saying, they got... saying, take them.
Yeah.
But you're powerful.
You're powerful.
When I see young people now doing their thing, like independent,
do it. There's 16, 17-year-olds out here killing it. Do you know why? Because they've recognized their power, and I love them.
Go, bro.
All like AJ Tracy, independent. Yeah. Bro, that is recognizing your power.
While we're talking about Roses, I think he spent his 4th week in the top 10, by the way.
Independently.
Independently, yeah.
And that album came out when?
All engines go.
So he's been working this album for how long?
It's the singles.
But there's people in record labels that get paid to do this and can't even do it with a massive machine behind them. But you got AJ Tracy doing this.
I just love that everyone's
It's just authentic, innit? It's just what
shout
the people
out to shout out to Benny Scars and Jack as well.
Man them forever.
Do you remember what you was gonna say to my man?
Like, it was just a trade of thought.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful.
I love teasing Mars.
Yeah, you're saying to put the roses out, bro. Everyone's amazing. Like Poet, what he's done, I think for a lot of people has been also great. He got me to my first Copper meeting. Maya Jama, he put her on. Snoopy Shy early on. Who else did you help out? You helped out Craig. You helped out Mileage. You helped out Filthy Fellas, bro. Like,
Specs Gonzalez.
He's helped me.
Savage Dan.
Steve Oldham. That's what I mean. Is like this is energy where you're like, when you're in it just for the love of what you do and you want people to prosper, there's space for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
This isn't a competition. There's no competition. The illusion is a competition. The truth, there is no. I did
the same thing. I put it at him.
Yeah, when you believe in the illusion, you believe in competition.
Do you know what I'll say to you?
I'm in no competition with anyone, bro.
Let me show you how mad it is.
I'm chilling.
Someone said to me, how come you're helping Harry Pinero in that competition?
What?
Someone said that to you.
Harry's the man.
What competition?
Harry is the man.
Why would anyone even say, fuck the competition?
Do you know what I've done?
Do
you know why I'm glad they done that? I was so happy they done that because that made me go, how can I help this boy more? I just said, I phoned up MTV, I'm bringing on Harry Pinero, I'll just put him straight down. I ain't got time for people with that type of mentality. Like Vuj said, there's no competition. How can I be running a race by myself and lose? It's not going to happen.
Yes, that's the thing. I don't feel like there's competition for you, man. Like,
no, there isn't.
There isn't.
Well, anyone.
For anyone, there ain't competition for no one.
Why can't we do our thing? Chunks and Philly do their thing. Cheeky Sport do their thing. Everyone, Josh Denzel and Mitch.
What was you going to say about society?
I was going to say society is set up on all these illusions, I would say. There's a lot of these illusions that people have believed in for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And I think now a lot of them are crumbling. That's why our political systems are crumbling. Everything seems a bit mad. People are all up on arms looking at what people have said 10 years ago. Because all this thing is, people don't know what to hang on to anymore.
Yeah.
Because none of it has really been real. And now the truth prevails.
The truth is trendy. It's trendy to fight for something. And it's like, unless you're fighting for reality, it's just like no one cares no more.
Yeah.
No one ain't got time to be fighting for all of these things that don't exist.
Bro,
and it's
spread love, fam.
That's the most
definitely.
Even the people that, people are just reflecting their inner states out into the world.
Of course.
And that's it. We're just mirrors to each other. There is no, if someone's spreading hate, it's because they feel hate. And how I can't hate. I don't want to live my life in hate. I have no time for that, bro.
Do you know what it is as well?
I come from
you go all over the world, and you'll see, like, especially like young kids and that showing bare love, especially an African child. So talking about African child,
that's all you wanted to do, really. I know.
That was a good segue.
Go on,
Chucky. That segue was 10 out. That was a good segue.
So talking about African child,
it was a shit segue.
That was it.
I would have broken it outside.
there's nothing to even talk about. But I know that a lot of people wanted to. A lot of people wanted to hear your outside perspective on, like, just
you was angry
how
that
it
day,
went.
though.
Yeah, I was, and I'll be honest with you, it's a little bit disappointing for me to take a look at myself losing my patience. But the beauty about it is, I don't think I embarrassed myself.
No, you didn't.
I made my point very clear. I was very stern, and the most important thing was, for me, I just felt that. And you know what? Sometimes I shouldn't even feel like this, but do you know what? The world that I'm a part of, I'm very thankful to the people that came before me. That may not mean anything to anybody in this room, but I genuinely don't give a fuck. It means the world to me. So people like Dizzy Rascal, people like Kano, people like Getz, without any of them, I can't do anything I'm doing because I never had no inspiration. Ian Wright, without any of these dons, there's nothing. So I understand now the position I'm in, that some people are going to think, without Poet, I may not have done that. And I understand that some people are going to say, without Vuj, so now I have a responsibility. And whether some people choose to take it on board, it's entirely up to them. They don't have to. But I don't want anyone to get on me taking it on board. When I see somebody like AC in an environment which has brought me so I can feed my children, brought me so I can help my mum and bring my friends and we can all have a good time, and someone's coming in here and disrespecting not only people that I love and care about, that genuinely care about, not on this, we're industry mates, people that I've known for 10, 12 years. You're disrespecting people like that and you're progressing within this thing. I've just said to myself, live by the sword, die by the sword. So if you want to live on the net, I'm going to show you at least one piece of content on the net which you're going to have to explain to a lot of people. And I don't think you're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have you be up here just disrespect people time and time and time again, because the world in which you're doing it in, I feel I live in it. And I don't really like it. I don't want to see you that often. So guess what? I'm going to make a piece of content. So when people mention your name, they got to mention mine and that piece of content. And you're going to have to explain yourself. And because you can't, eventually people are going to find it a joke. And you're going to either have to do one or two things. Change, which is what I genuinely want. Change and become a better person. Or just get out. You're only going to have two options. Because if you don't take either of those options, you're going to have a lot more problems. And we can all sit and talk about how funny it was and laugh. But a couple of things that a couple of people have said to me is true. My man's mentally ill, bro. He's got an actual issue. So instead of the people close to him encouraging him to go and do online content, because I can walk away and just carry on my life, them people he's still coming back to them. They should actually try and help him. But I just don't think anyone, and I'm guilty of it as well, no one cares.
Yeah.
So when people are saying they don't care, bro, like, so I know I can honestly tell you, I don't have that much care towards it. I just don't like an individual doing that. And now all his hate and sentiment has come towards me. I'm comfortable with that because I'm not like a lot of individuals that are going to get emotionally wrapped up with what he's saying on his Instagram live. I proper, from the bottom of my heart, don't care. I'll encourage him to say more. Say what you want. I don't mind. It doesn't really matter to me. I've got things to do. And I know a lot of people are being affected by it. So if it means I take the bullets, bro, I'll take all of them.
Of course.
I'll take all the bullets for everything that's happening in the scene, because do you know what? Fundamentally, a lot of the things that happen in this scene are bollocks. It's either individuals that are not respecting the people that come before them, disrespecting the opportunities presented by them, or mass media companies coming in and trying to control and infiltrate the way it's dictated. I haven't got time for either.
No, I hear you. I think as well, anyway, just talking on that, like, on what actually happened, from my perspective, because I'd seen it before it went out, and I was like, I felt that what you did was very necessary in a sense of identifying that the mood in this conversation is going somewhere completely left. I'm going to remove myself from this before it gets to a place that it doesn't even really need to go. It doesn't even have to be like this.
But
Do you get what I'm saying?
It wasn't even just that. I've made my point.
Yeah.
I have fully made my point. It's quite evident you don't like me. It's quite evident that I'm impartial towards you in life, but right now I'm not really taking a liking to you.
I don't know if it's a thing of him not liking you, though. I do think that, like, from what you said before about him, like, possibly being mentally ill or whatever, yeah? Maybe, and I'm just making an assumption, maybe, like, the lifestyle that he has grown up in and the things that he's seen, maybe have experienced, whatever, I don't know, like, I don't know how deep it could be. That could be something that really affects the way that he has conversations with people. So it's not necessarily about him having hate for you, but if he doesn't necessarily have great love for himself, and there's a lot of hate within here, if there's a lot of hate within here, that's going to be projected in bare different types of conversations. And if you're mixed with, if you're standing next to a person who's also got this in there, one of two things can happen. You both like find the connection together because you're both just in that same deep down here, or the heads knock and then something mad happens. Do you understand what I'm saying? So right. I don't even think that, like, even when he was saying some stuff about artists and all of these things, me personally, and again, this is just an assumption, I question whether that hate or that anger is a real genuine hate and anger for these people. Oh, no. It's just the hate. It's just a something that's in here that maybe probably does need to address. And once it is, then but you at the same time, you can't save everyone. Do you know what I mean? And that's not necessarily what you was there to do. Everyone. That's for him. That's for people around him to sit down and maybe put an arm around my man or have a conversation with him and help him and do whatever it may be to, because I know people that's like that. Like we've grown up in certain environments where there's certain man that's like, no matter how you speak to them or whatever, their thought process and that anger has just not changed. I'll go back to some of my old block or whatever. There's certain man that's still got that there because it hasn't been addressed. I can come and I can have a conversation with you, but that's just one conversation. Once I go, you still have that there. Do you get me? You still have that there.
Look, do you know what? My dad said something about Vuj the other day when we were watching videos, and he said the reason why he likes Vuj is you have my perception, we have your perception, and we have reality.
Yeah.
And Vuj is just very much in reality. He's not really bothered with a lot of things that are happening. And it's like, I think a lot of people from the hood, they just live in their perception of the world. They haven't even gone out in the world to figure out what the hell's going on. Their perception of the world happens to be their estate or North London or South London or East London or just their area like that. And it never really gets explored anymore. So then you have end results sometimes like African Child. And when he comes into the wider world and realizes that's not the way you can conduct yourself, then you have like a negative response and you kind of resent everyone for not understanding your perspective, not knowing that that's yours and you need to learn to appreciate others. Now, the problem with his one is the fact that it's so negative and aggressive. He should be more thankful that people like me just come up to him and tell him exactly how it is, because somebody else ain't going to speak to you, my bro. And I'm not saying he can't defend himself. I'm not saying he can defend himself. I'm sure saying why even get there?
Yeah.
Because there's always someone badder than you. As bad as anyone is, there's always somebody badder than you. So that's the reason why I have to have harsh words with him, because I fully well know where the direction of this can go.
Well, I'm sure deep down somewhere he'll have a nice, you know what I mean? And everything one day will be all right.
He might be having a nice now.
Yeah,
this possibly might all be nice to him. He might enjoy this. So this might be his nice.
I must say though, I really liked how Alhan conducted himself after he went off. He treated it like a proper interview. Whereas normally when you see him on Gasworks, like he's very banterful and like takes the mic.
Alhan's grown up a bit, hasn't he?
It wasn't even growing up. No disrespect to Alhan. We just have to be honest. When you see me do what I've done, are you going to try and ban any joke afterwards, my man?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just be honest. Let's just talk about this in reality.
Yeah, he's not like, Alhan's not stupid.
He's not an idiot. He's a very smart boy.
He's a smart kid,
yeah, he would have wanted to do what he wanted to do, and he did do it slyly, but he couldn't do what he usually does. He's fully aware. He can't, it wasn't like, for example, a conscious decision beforehand that this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's because I came at my man's neck. Boom. Forget the games. Like, why am I going to have a conversation with African Child off the back of everything he's done and try this slow? Forget that, bro. Like, you're not my friend. I'm not your friend. Like, I don't care about you that much. You don't care about me that much. This is all I want to know. If you're not going to share that with me, I'm going to go. Why else am I here? Why am I wasting my time? Bills still got paid.
Yeah. It's mad because someone like Poet as well, if you want to get into a verbal battle, not even a battle, but just like a discussion, a deeper discussion, it's not gonna work, bro. And someone like him, not even African Child, but I've come across people like that, Chucky. You know, when you just have a discussion with them and you're firing with them and you've backed them up in the corner, the only thing they know to do now is just and get mad.
Violence.
Yeah,
violence. That's it. But he's from the hood, so he knows the hood thing. So you can't even do the intimidation thing to me, and I can have a conversation with you because the podcast is about a conversation, but it's not physical. It's verbal. So, and he was destroying him in the verbal conversation, and that's why I just thought he just went off track. That's why he was just like and he just went off. And
you know, also I think to myself as well, this world is so much more accessible now.
Yeah,
there could have been like some 17-year-old kid in Doncaster that actually thinks this is real, and that might not mean anything to anybody in this room, and maybe I shouldn't mean anything to me, but in the same breath, I respect this world so much because it's given me the opportunity to finance my life, live, create things, have little slang, little dress sense. I'm just afraid you can't be here unless you respect it. And too much people disrespect it. And I just don't want to add to that. Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Good luck to the guy, bro, though, man. Seriously, like, you know, I understand that, like, we live in a world, where it's just never going to be perfect, and there's always going to be good and bad, and there's going to be, you know, all different types of fucking things that happen within life, innit? But like sometimes, you know, there are times when like I see someone who I look at and be like, oh, you know, that could be my brother. You get what I'm saying? And I think, like, how can I help? Or like, what could I do to stop somebody that is close to me, maybe even having that thought process? But then I understand that, like, there's nothing I can do, that everyone lives their own reality, innit? And everyone's going to go through their own experiences which will shape their minds and their thought process. And I can never be mad at somebody if they hit their spiritual awakening, so to speak, later on in life. Do you get me? Like, just because somebody doesn't think the same way that I think now, I'm not going to shit on them, because you know what? Maybe at some stage you might get it. At some stage you may not. But bro, I don't know, man.
It's mad because like.
But yeah, anyway, just like good luck to the brother. Either way, though, like, I mean, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting,
you lot all
and it was for
everyone had a good time.
But the thing is, sometimes there are certain things for like entertainment and stuff like that, which I think is a bit, you know what I mean, can be a bit tricky, because
shout out Tricky.
Yeah, shout out to Tricky. The reason why I say that is because outside of microphones and cameras is real life. Yeah, and like, damn right. We can be on the microphone and cameras and all of that stuff and say all different types of mad, insane crud that like gets loads of views and like is for everyone else's entertainment. But outside of that is real life, and in real life there are some people who whether it be right or wrong addresses certain things in certain types of ways. I'd hate to be in a predicament where someone has come and just for other people's entertainment, come out and said an absolute whole bunch of madness, and then gone into real life, and then off the back of that, some madness has happened.
Just honestly, Chucky, I don't care.
Can we talk about music now?